This is irony. So apparently we are live. Well, that's good. So welcome everybody. This right here, right now is the joy of being live stream. Coming to you live from Brooklyn, New York. And we're over here. If you want to come join the conversation, we're at deepmindfulness.io. Folks, what an exciting day. Today is a Wednesday. The camera went live earlier than expected. I was sitting here figuring out if I had dry flakes on my skin, but hey, that's how life is, right? Life on a camera. Folks, excited to be here with you now. Let's see, let me know where you are coming from. I'd love to hear how folks are doing. Let's see. Okay, how is everybody? Hello, Landon, joining us from California. Nice to see you there. Good to have you here with us. What else is going on? Where are folks arriving from? Where are we seeing everybody from? So folks, today we're going to be continuing our series here on the multiple self model, and very excited about that. We have Wise Seclusion from Washington, D.C., Little Liner from Toronto, Rory from Kingston, Ontario. Very nice to have you here. And I know that folks, when you come here, you know, when you've been here more than once, you have to say your location more than once, but it's so lovely. Come on. It's so great to see everyone's location. Anton from Sweden. Oh, wait. Nick is from Sweden. Also known as Mirk Giaf. Oh, look. Nick, thank you so much. That, speaking of the devil, this is Mirk Giaf, is also known as Nick. Just subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. That supports the channel. It makes it possible to do the things we're doing, have the equipment we need to process and have fun together. So thank you so much for your subscription. It also means, if folks don't know, it means that you don't have to watch commercials before this thing starts. If I could control that, I would, but that's just this platform. That's the way it works. I always think it's funny because the commercials are always geared towards like 14-year-old gamers, so it's sort of like less effective, but hey, that's what it is. So folks, the point is, thank you so much, Nick, for subscribing. That was lovely to have you there, to have you appear as a lovely skeleton. So meet Anton. Anton is also in Sweden. Am I getting that right? Are you in? I thought you were in Stockholm. Yeah, that's Sweden. What am I talking about? What's up with my American level of geography? Meaning poor. Lovely. Lovely. Okay, well, welcome. So folks, let us know where you're coming from. Let us know what you're thinking about today, how your day has been since we last met. We met here on Monday, and some folks had some fun. We get to connect. We got to chat about meditation as per usual, and we had a good time. I have this new filter system on my camera, which I'm hoping to make. I don't know if it'll work. We'll see. Oh, it probably just froze my camera. Give me a sec. I'm going to unfreeze my camera in a sec. No camera available. Well, forget you then. Okay. Yeah. There's a little interference with the camera, so I'll fix that. My camera will be unfrozen in 5, 4, 3. Oh, look. It's the chest cam. Hello. It's the other camera. And 1. Okay, we're back. So, folks, let us rejoice. The drilling is back. The excellent driver of our practice. The fun thing that gets us to notice craving and aversion as it arises, which is actually going to be really useful for today's practice. We're going to be continuing our multiple self-model practice. And let's see here. And I'm a little scattered at this moment. So many things happening at once. Excuse me. And, oh yeah, multiple self-model, in particular, listening to the voice of the whatever particular self is arising. So this is going to involve a little intuition and letting our intuition flow a little bit to see if we can detect that voice. And then we can work with and soothe that voice. I'm going to it's funny how foggy-dog my mind is. I have drank the matcha, but this morning my mind is a little foggy-dog. So shake it off. Okay, folks, so we're going to meditate for about 25 minutes. And in that time, we will all reach a different stage of existence. That might sound grandiose, but that stage of existence will be us 25 minutes later. Plus whatever meditation, accumulation, meditation momentum that we've developed in that time. So find yourself a nice comfortable position that you can maintain for the duration of the sit. Make any adjustments that would be helpful. And we will begin. Oh, hold on one sec. Not ready for you to start. So I'm going to encourage anyone who's watching this to find a way to be comfortable for the duration of the sit, and to keep the body still. And we do this so that we don't follow all of our little instincts to adjust and move in that way. Hey, Raquel?
Yeah.
Could you cage the beast?
Yeah.
Thank you. I realized the puppy was out and about. So we will begin. Beginning by taking a few comfortable deep breaths. Just feeling the body rise and fall. And we'll begin by sweeping through the body to be sure we're not holding any undue tension. So starting at the top of the head, relax the brow. Relax the muscles behind the eyes, allowing the eyes themselves to drop down just slightly. Letting this relaxation spread to the face, letting the face go smooth. Relaxing the back of the tongue. And allowing the jaw to go slack. Relaxing the neck and the shoulders. The upper arms. Elbows, forearms, wrists, and relaxing the hands. Tuning into the subtle sensations in the palms of the hands and tips of the fingers. Letting go of any attempt to control the breath in any way, just letting the body breathe as it will. Noticing the natural tightening and relaxing of the upper chest and upper back as the breath comes and goes. Relaxing the belly and the lower back. Relaxing the hips and the upper legs. The knees and calves. The ankles, and relaxing the feet. And landing in a soft, open awareness that holds all of the body sensations. We're not trying to be sure to include every single sensation, just the greatest collection that we can without needing to force anything. Just one big pool called restful or neutral body sensations. And it may be the case that other sense data is arising. Sounds or a sense of space. And so if that's the case and it feels useful, just including that in this large open awareness. Not needing to differentiate between body sensations and any other phenomena that is arising at this time. Letting them be together in one large pool. And in the midst of all of this, without needing to shrink down, just letting some of the sensations of the breath be known. Because we don't need to shrink down, they don't have to be known exclusively, they can be known among all of these other sensations. Sometimes it might even seem as though the breath sensations were spread evenly across this larger open awareness. As though the place where we detect the subtle breath sensations was everywhere. And of course, at times, the mind can drift away from this arrangement, the larger open awareness and the sensations of the breath. That's fine, simply enjoying the experience of returning. Finding this arrangement again and starting from there. No big deal. If we'd like to use mental labels, we might label the breath sensations as this, and all of the other sensations as all, referring to this large collection, even if it doesn't include every tiny bit, just the large gathering tendency of awareness. Playing this very simple game. Staying in contact with this. Allowing this to be buffered by, surrounded by what we're calling all. This larger awareness, softly collecting our sense experience. Now we're going to make a slight transition. Checking in just to see where we are in terms of identification, if there's a self arising, or if we're just floating in a more undifferentiated experience of awareness. If a self is arising, noticing what that's like. Noticing if it seems to pass itself off as the one perspective. I am the one self. I've always been here. If a self is arising, noticing the part of that experience that does feel safe, certain, secure. This experience of a main character, the one that the world happens to. And if there isn't a self arising, or we're just more connected with this soft, open awareness, simply noticing what that's like. Or perhaps the self is arising and we can observe that as a natural phenomenon, simply occurring within this human body mind. Just another piece of sense data, along with all the rest. So if we're in contact with some degree of awareness, we can use a nurture positive phrase, some kind phrase, and direct it towards whatever self or selves are arising now. Using our intuition to find a phrase that would be soothing. Noticing that sometimes when we pick a phrase like this, there's pushback from whatever self is arising. And knowing that that's fine. The pushback actually shows us whatever self doesn't feel like its needs are being met, or even that its needs are being confronted by this set of words. And in this case, we can use our intuition to give this self that's pushing back its own voice, pushing against the experience of this present moment, giving it a voice, letting it say a sentence, and just picking something. It doesn't have to be right. Maybe it's as simple as, I don't like this. Or why isn't it like this? Why isn't it like this? Letting it speak. And again, using our intuition, not overthinking it. Letting the awareness respond. Letting the awareness know what might be soothing. Allowing it to repeat this phrase, and we'll immediately know if there is some degree of response, soothing, or more resistance, we have an immediate feedback loop. And in this way, intuiting a simple dialogue. Letting whatever self or preferring experience within us, letting it say its phrase, say what's true for it. And then allowing the kind awareness to respond not necessarily to the content of the words, but the underlying need. Sometimes the dialogue doesn't make direct sense. The self might say, I don't like this. I don't like this. And awareness might say, I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here. Again, using intuition to find the words that will soothe, even just a little. So whatever arises is natural. Perhaps awareness uses a phrase that soothes whatever self is arising, or a phrase that agitates it, creates more pushback. That's fine. That simply gives us greater clarity on the need of that particular self. And this clarity shows us how we might learn to soothe it, to meet that need. Both voices are valid. Neither is more deserving of existing. And we can allow the kind awareness to bring, to teach, to soak in with kindness. and staying with the practice, staying in stillness. Allowing a tiny bit of light to enter the eyes. Eventually allowing the eyes to rest on a single still point. And without needing to do anything, just noticing the effect of this practice so far. And letting this moment of transition show us how to bring this practice forward. Eventually into every aspect of our lives. Okay, so making any adjustments you need to allow the body to be comfortable. Haria, you ask, what's that background noise? Funny you should mention it. So we mentioned earlier in the stream that the background noise is the sound of many workers drilling away at our building here in New York City. Oh, that's very sweet. So Rory, that's great actually. I mean, if other people feel like sharing that, that's great, is just to listen, to share what the different voices were saying back and forth. That's actually really interesting. I hadn't thought of that. That's great. And the effect, hey, listen, that's a full report right there. I usually talk about these ways to give a full report. That's great. So we're experiencing quite a bit of drilling here at our apartment here in New York City, which luckily the practice we're doing lends itself to having an unpleasant distraction occurring and working with that. So yeah, what was that like? I found it very easy to access the part of me that wanted things to be different. It's funny. I mean, I think it was just a random timing, situation, but the drilling was definitely much more intense. I mean, they're moving across the building, and the reason it sounds so loud here is they're just hitting beams that are like on our side of the fence versus someone else's, sort of moving down the building. The beams that go right over us. So it was much more intense in the middle of that meditation, which is pretty funny. Nick says, yeah, the mind was insisting, hey, this drilling is disturbing awareness, and awareness didn't mind. It's so funny. It's funny. I mean, it's really powerful to start to see that there are these different parts of our mind, and that these different parts, they respond to reality differently. I mean, this is something that we've been, right now we're doing this whole series on how to develop practices for people in the medical profession to help them during this crisis. And we're starting to write down, like, why is it that we meditate on our senses? Like, why does that matter? There's a million things we could do. Like, why are our senses relevant? And it's partially because our senses have different qualities and different sort of structural elements or tendencies or, different definitions, you could say. They act certain ways. They have different qualities. And by hanging out with those qualities, we start to absorb those qualities in every other part of ourselves. So by hanging out with the neutrality of just seeing or just hearing or feeling, that neutrality seeps into our perception. And so we start to perceive and recognize the world as, okay, it's actually more neutral than I thought it was. It's less of a thing that I have to fight against. And awareness is like, no, I'm cool. I'm cool. Yeah, I see that you're disturbed. And it's a pretty easy and efficient, elegant way to discover, are you in contact with awareness or not, is, does this part of my system care? Or not even care, because we're talking about a caring and kind awareness, but is it preferring in a way that feels like a need or a want? It's like I need this. Okay, cool, that's fine. You're just in contact with that part of ourselves. Or the awareness that's like, nah, I'm good. There it is. Yep, there's agitation. I see it. Cool. So, folks, what else was that like? What happened? I'm going to throw in the let's see here. Does it work? Oh, it worked. Okay, great. Throwing in the Zoom link if you want to jump onto Zoom so we can chit-chat like kitty cats. Make sure I exist here. Uh-oh. Okay, there's no video. That's how it is. But if folks want to jump on, I'd love to have you here. Just a chit-chat, just so we can hear your voice and go from there. I often find, I don't know if this is just the case or this is a coincidence, I notice that on Wednesdays often people are more reserved as far as comments, but maybe I'm wrong. So yeah, what was that like? What happened? What are you like now? And anything else that is arising. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to hit the subscribe button to know when we go live or when we put out new videos. If you want to see the playbacks of any of these, it's on our second YouTube channel. I wonder if the links, the link should work. Whoa, it worked. I forgot we've never done this before. Holy crap, it put it everywhere. This is like, it pasted it 5 times. So, okay, I guess we're filling the entire chat with the links. So these are our links. There's actually only 5 of them, if this is of interest. So it has our connecting with us, one-on-one work, our regular YouTube channel, which is where you might be watching this now, our second YouTube channel, which is where all the playbacks are, and our Facebook and Instagram, which is, okay, there's another one I wanted to put in there, but that's fine. If you want to connect with us on any of those places, that's where we are. I don't know why that posts that 4 times, but that's the way it is. Anything else coming up, folks? Anything else that's fun, interesting? Any questions? There's so many platforms. Let me check on Discord to see if folks are asking any questions in the questions for streams section. There's also a bunch of leftover questions when Daniel was here. People left all of these questions so we could get into that if that was of interest. Oh, okay. Let's jump in here. Okay, most of these are for Daniel. I don't want to be answering questions that were for Daniel. Yeah, exactly. Okay. I will post this. Actually, Daniel mentioned Meet Your Happy Chemicals, which was an interesting book that he was mentioning. I'll just throw that in the chat just for fun in case people are interested in that book. Looked pretty good. Okay, folks. Well, if no one feels the urge to jump in, that's fine. No pressure. As I mentioned, Wednesdays are usually pretty quiet. So we'll be signing off, and we'll be back here in fewer than 24 hours to have some fun, to meditate, to have a good time. But if you have questions in the meantime, we would love to hear from you. We'd love to hear how it's going, what's going on, and what's the news. Drop us a line on any one of these many platforms and ways to get in touch, and then we can say hello. So let me see. I just want to make sure no one's desperately trying to get in touch. Nope, that's cool. Folks, so lovely to be here with you. And I'm going to put on this ending music here. I want to change this, the GIF, though. It's been the same GIF for a while. Folks, as always, so lovely to have you here. So lovely to be with you. What a fun life this is. This opportunity to get to meditate, spend time, connect, have fun. My wish for you today is simply to know that difficult experiences will arise. This is going to happen. And we can relate to it in a number of different ways, knowing that, of course, we're going to relate to it in a more difficult way sometimes. Of course, it's not always going to be easy, but of course, we can also learn over time that we can connect with it with awareness, connect with it with kindness, and learn that all of these things, disturbance, sadness, joy, kindness, compassion, these are all part of the spectrum of being an ordinary human. Great to see folks. Glad we got to connect. And so looking forward to seeing everyone very, very soon. Okay, folks.